In the final video for week 4, I want to walk you through the instructions for part 2 of our literature review project. Just like LR part 1, this also has multiple steps, which I've called parts, which I understand is a bit confusing, but I'll fix that for next time. So part 1 of this assignment is to develop a literature table for your 5 sources. And this is the most important part. Part 2 is to create a references page in APA format, and part 3 is to write the introduction to your topic. So I want to go ahead and show you that literature table first. So I have presented you with an example of how this literature table should look. And I want to reiterate the fact that you must have access to the full text and you must read the full article in order to be successful with this part of the project. So you'll provide the authors and the year, which will help you when you write the actual paper for the in-text citation. You'll identify the type of study, the research problem, the research purpose, and the sample. You'll also describe the data collection, and you'll also summarize, paraphrase in your own words, some of the results. Now, the key things for this, this is the bulk of the paper, is presenting results from previous research. And the important thing to note about this is only report the results that relate to your topic. For example, let's say you are interested in the effects of stress on college students, but you read a research article that's looking at the effects of stress on both high school and college students. In that case, you might talk about high school students in the data collection and the sample, but the results that you're summarizing should only relate to college students because that's the information that you will need for your paper. Okay. This last part, you're kind of developing these skills as we go through the class, but it's to provide some general comments, some critiques, some strengths, some overall assessment of the project. So I have posted the instructions for the full paper, and I would encourage you to take a look at that. And I've also posted a sample paper, and I would encourage you to take a look at that. But the key thing to note is that this assignment involves taking notes on your articles, which this results section will be the bulk of your paper. But then the discussion section of your paper will be describing different research studies, different research designs, and providing critiques and strengths of previous research. The research problem and their justification will help you, give you ideas for how to write your own introduction to your research paper when you talk about the problems. Okay. So going back to the instructions at the top, I would make sure you know to include all 3 parts, the table, the references page, and the introduction so that you don't lose points unnecessarily. I would also encourage you to look at chapter 4, particularly figures 4.2 and 4.3, for help in how to take notes on an article. And again, the introduction is going to be talking about the research problem, right? Then talking about your study purpose. What is this paper setting out to do? Your data source is 5 peer-reviewed articles, and you'll also have a section where you talk about your search process, which is basically what you wrote for LR1, but incorporating any feedback that I will give you. By Wednesday night, you should be getting feedback from me from that. And let me know if you have any questions, and also on Sakai, I have posted a rubric for this project.